have no idea, you guys, what is up with Max lately. He's not being very nice to Luna at all. Hey, you guys, I am really sorry about what just happened. I have no idea what is going on. Max has been acting a little bit strange today, and last night he was doing the same thing. So I actually... got cat hair flying all over the place now. So the other day, I actually noticed that I have a hamster channel or a pet channel, mostly about my hamsters though. I looked through all my older videos as well, and I noticed that I actually never made a basic hamster care video. Like, how have I not made one of those videos yet on my channel? And I've had this channel for, it's coming close to 4 years now, and I never made a video about that. So today is definitely gonna be that day. I'm just gonna go through some of the basic things that you're gonna need for your new hamster if you are gonna be getting a hamster for the first time ever. I still have cat hair flying around. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into owning hamsters. I will leave the hamster hideout forum down below if you need any more detailed kind of advice or things like that. So yeah. Now, I always recommend before you go and get your new hamster is get everything set up at home first. That is always what I like to do as well. So when you do get your hamster, you can just put him or her into his new cage and everything's ready to go, and it won't be as stressful on them as well. I put this big millet spray in my hand for Patch to munch on for a little, but he's not munching on anything. No, you're not. So the first thing that you're gonna wanna get is a cage. The minimum requirements are gonna be 450 square inches. It's really easy and simple on how to figure out like how big the cage actually is. So all you have to do is, if you're looking at a cage that you're thinking about getting, measure the length, and then you're gonna times that by the width size of the cage. And that is gonna give you your square inches of floor space. There are many different kinds of cages that you can get that would be suitable. For example, you can get a good size bin cage, and those are really simple and cheap to make, actually. A question that I get a lot is, well, Pam, my parents won't let me upgrade into getting my hamster, you know, a tank or something like that. Like, they just think it's absurd, which is not absurd. If any parents are watching, please, it's not absurd. Yeah, if you do have a critter trail cage and your parents won't let you upgrade, maybe try and ask them if you can get a bin cage, because they are so cheap and all you need to do is get a little bit of mesh and make a hole, and that's about it. My bin cage only cost me roughly around $25. Like, that was it. And sometimes you have things laying around as well. Like, I usually always have zip ties laying around. So that is one option. Then obviously, of course, 40-gallon breeder tanks or higher are also great cages. And there are just many more. I'll have a few linked down below for you guys. Not every single one, but I'll definitely try and find as many as I can. I'll have them linked down below, so if you guys want to check those out. But for example, the IKEA D-Top is also a great cage. I'm really enjoying the acrylic terrarium as well. Are we gonna go back, Patch? You just made a poopy on me. So once you got the cage down, what is next? What do we need? A hamster is definitely gonna need a wheel, because that is going to for sure prevent boredom, and hamsters love to run. You definitely want to make sure that you're getting the correct size wheel for the type of hamster that you are getting. If you are going for a Syrian hamster, you definitely want to stay around anywhere from 8 inches to 12 inches. And I will leave some of my favorites linked down below for you guys as well, if you would like to see which kind of wheels that I like to use for my Syrian hamsters. And if you're getting a dwarf hamster or a robo or even a Chinese hamster, I would definitely try and stay anywhere around from the 6 inches to 8.5 inches. Patch right behind me actually has a 8-inch Wodent wheel, which he is absolutely loving, and he can turn it very well. He has so much fun on it. The reason why you really want to stick with a decent size wheel for, or the correct size wheel for your hamster, because they could really hurt their back if the wheel is too small. We can have some back issues, and we don't want no back issues. So after we got a cage and a wheel, we are gonna need some chew toys, because you really want to provide them with as many toys as possible, because their teeth actually don't stop growing if they have nothing to chew on. And if they would keep growing, then they can't eat, and then bad things happen, and they could obviously starve to death. We gotta keep those teeth nice and trimmed. So So here I have a whole like basket full of different kinds of chew toys that I use for my hamsters. Now I kind of tend to go overboard. I like buying different kinds of chew toys for my hamsters all the time because I just love it. I really like to keep them busy. Really want to make sure that their teeth stay trimmed. Bunch of stuff down here as well. I got a lot of wood chews. I got a lot of wooden chews. Kebabs are also a great little chew toy as well, and you can hang them from the cage. And then there's also some of my favorite chews as well that I love giving my hamsters in. I know sometimes it can be difficult to get your hamster to chew on wood and things like that. I always recommend these Whimsy chews, and these you can find in the dog section. They are called Whimsies, and you can get them in little alligators or hedgehogs, or what else can you get? Little toothbrushes. Doesn't matter what kind, it doesn't have to be alligators, but these make great chew toys because they love them. Like, they absolutely love them. And then also another one of my favorites are cheesy chews. Same goes for the carrot crunchies that you can get at Walmart. I'll leave a link down below. You also want to provide them with different kinds of toys and little hidey houses and things like that, so they can, you know, sleep inside of their little house. Or sometimes you can actually go the cheaper route as well and go to your local Goodwills or thrift stores and find cute little ceramic things for your hamster to play with and like go inside of. Keeps them busy, and it's always fun to give them, you know, different kinds of toys and or hideys. These are food dishes. These are kind of probably for me, but let me get some hideys. Okay, so like I've got a bunch of stuff right here. You know, natural things are always great as well. I absolutely love natural stuff, but all these kind of fun things, tunnels, and you know, things like this, little fun toys that keeps them busy, and they absolutely adore it. Then of course you're gonna need some hamster food, and obviously you want to provide water at all times for your hamster as well. Now there are many different kinds of foods out there, and I definitely, like I said, I'm gonna leave the Hamster Hideout forum link down below so you can get an idea on which, you know, hamster foods to kind of stay away from, and then which ones that would be safe to get for your hamster. The one that I like to use at the moment is the Sunburst Higgins Gourmet Blend. I actually recently made a diet video, so I'll have that linked somewhere on the screen and down below for you guys as well. And I use the Missouri Rat and Mouse blocks. All that will be linked down below for you guys to check out. Trying to think, what else? There's definitely, I feel like, oh, okay, now we're gonna talk about bedding. There are so many different kinds of bedding that you can get for your hamster. You definitely want to stay away from pine bedding just because it can really hurt the hamster and give them respiratory problems. So pine is a big no-no. Carefresh, KT Clean and Cozy, Aspen is a great alternative, but if you do see anything with pine on it, please do not get it. It's not good for them at all. And also there are off-brands of Carefresh and things like that that work wonderful as well for to use as hamster bedding. And then there are different kinds of treats that you can give your hamster as well. There are many types of fresh fruits and fresh veggies that you can feed them. I will have it linked down below which ones are safe and what are not safe. And then there are many store-bought treats that you can get for your hamsters. Those were just some of the basic things that you're gonna need to start out with for your new hamster. Also, the occasional sand bath. You definitely do not want to ever bathe your hamster in water. It's just going to stress them out completely. Hamsters actually clean themselves, so you do not have to bathe your hamster with water. There are different kinds of alternatives. Either they just clean themselves, or you can provide a sand bath for them. A lot of my hamsters only use the sand bath for as a potty, but usually dwarf hamsters or robo hamsters love to roll around in the sand and clean themselves that way. So I definitely recommend getting a sand bath. You want to stay away from any kind of dust. So if the packaging says dust on it, I recommend not getting that at all. There are different kinds of sands that you can get. Any kind of pet sand that is available in a store is perfectly safe, obviously. You can also go the more cheaper route and get children's play sand from your local hardware store. You can get, like, you know, a really big bag of it for really cheap, which is also completely safe. But when you first bring your new hamster home, you really want to kind of just leave him or her alone for the next 3 or 4 days or so and not touch them or anything like that. You can obviously look at your hamster, but I just really recommend not going in there right away when you bring them home. You really want to prevent them from getting wet tail or anything like that. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole wet tail in today's video. I'll probably save that for another video and we'll talk a little bit about wet tail, but your hamster could die from wet tail. That's why it's always recommended not to stress out the hamster. We don't want anything bad to happen. Even though wet tail is pretty common for baby hamsters, adult hamsters still can get it. I want to try and stay as stress-free as possible. You also want to make sure that you get a water bottle or a water dish. I honestly like to stay with a water bottle. Glass water bottles are probably my favorite, but I do use plastic ones as well and they work perfectly fine. And now we're just gonna talk quickly about cleaning their cage or when to clean their cage, how often, things like that. Sometimes it really depends on how big or how small your cage is, on how often you need to clean it. I typically stay around a month, so every month I will give them a full cage clean, and I will do spot cleaning in between. Usually I will spot clean every day or every other day just to make sure, you know, nothing's completely soiled, or sometimes you can do it weekly as well. I just tend to do it every day or every other day, but there has been times where I have waited like a week to spot clean. So I think I covered the basics. Like I said, I'm not gonna go into like too much detail with everything. That would just be a very long video, but if there's ever anything that I specifically want to talk about, I'll probably just make a video about it. But I just wanted to kind of go through the basics with you guys. I know that I do tend to get a ton of questions from new hamster owners on some of the things that I talked about today, so I really hope that this video helped. I love you guys so much. I'd like to see more videos. We really hope that you'll subscribe to our channel. I make videos every 2 to 3 days, sometimes every day. And yeah, I will talk to you all in my next video. I love you. Bye!